What's going on, people? You know who it is. Hashtag Mo Dawn. Always drinking. Yeah, I'm popping. Doing my thing. There's no reason why you should have diabetes, high blood pressure, or anything else that we have, our people have, are supposed to have. Anyway, that's hereditary. You know, bad eating habits is hereditary, right? No, it's not. Anyway, this live broadcast is to get us back right. You know, knowing yourself is part of the battle. I know myself. I'm an extremist. I don't know about one cookie. I want 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cookies. So guess what? I don't fucking eat cookies. Okay? I don't just want one piece of candy. I want a few pieces of candy. So guess what? I don't fucking eat candy. And no disrespect to the doctors or anybody else, but going green is the way to go. I don't believe in taking medicines. Green. Fuck. If you are what you eat, and you eating flesh and dead things, what are you? That's my question. If you eat live, then what are you? Come on. Let's get it together, people, please. Hold on, I'm just trying to get this thing together. You know, this is my first time out here making it happen. I'm trying to get my guest on now. Trying to get my guest up, get this thing popping. You know. All right, not sure if this thing is how this thing works. Shy, what up?
What's good? Hold on, let me go somewhere a little more well lit.
Okay.
That's good. You see better now?
Hell no.
Huh?
I said hell no, but I can hear you though.
I don't know. I'm in the bright light. What about now?
Okay, I can see you now.
Okay.
So listen, this show is about health is wealth, right?
Right.
And no, my belief is diabetes and sickness like that ain't hereditary. They say it runs in the family.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's interesting because you ultimately get your habits from your family. So while the actual disease itself may not be hereditary, the habits are inherited. So you inherit the habits of eating too much sugar, eating too late at night, sleeping too much, lack of exercise. So it's very easy for that to be masked and disguised as something that it really isn't, because if you look at your grandmother has diabetes, then your father had diabetes, and you have diabetes, and your kids are pre-diabetic, it begins to put on the persona of being hereditary, when it's actually not. It's that the habits are being passed down from generation to generation.
How do you stop it?
Well, you got to develop new habits, which is almost harder than it being hereditary, because habits themselves take on a life of their own. So a lot of times it just takes some discipline, and it's easier said than done. But I think the mistake that most people make people in trying to redevelop habits is that they try to do it from a physical aspect, and you can't really do it physically first. It has to happen in the mind first. So if it, if it can happen in the mind, then it can happen in the body. But so many people try to go right into, okay, I'm gonna run 6 miles every day. I'm gonna eat like this. I'm gonna eat like that, and they're trying to change their body without changing their mind first. There's an old saying that goes, "The mind tricks the body." So if you can conquer your mind first and put it in your head first, then it's possible to happen in the body. If you make it happen in the body first, it will happen for a little while, but it's only temporary, which is why 90 to 95% of people who lose weight end up putting a little weight back on, and then most times they put the weight they lost back and then some. So they haven't changed their mind. They haven't conquered that emotional connection to food.
Right.
Yeah. So that thing about comfort food is very real. Some people have the habit of eating late. After 9, 10 o'clock. That's very real. And once that habit forms, it becomes second nature. It's as if you don't even realize
Have a great one.
what you're doing anymore, because it's so second nature to you that it almost feels right.
So my thing is, what's a great time to stop eating?
I think the biggest mistake that people make, and why Americans are so fat and obese, is because they try to wholesale you answers. They try to give you one answer that works for everybody. There is no one answer that works for everybody, because people are so uniquely different that there's no way one thing works for everybody.
Okay, so it's you got to find out what works for you.
Well, you got to conquer it in your mind first. Case in point, a lot of people say they eat because they're hungry, but you got to understand what's going on psychologically, A, and then B, you got to understand what's happening on a chemical level in your body. When you get that feeling of hunger, that feeling is caused because the blood sugar in your body has dipped.
Right.
When the blood sugar in your body dips, there's something depleted in your body, and what's depleted is sugar. So because you're depleted of sugar, and you're depleted of certain nutrients, automatically you feel hungry. But at the same time, your craving is for something sweet and fat-laden and delicious, like cheese, cream cheese, butter, pizza. Those cravings aren't just happening for no reason. It's happening because you're waiting too long to eat. If you eat when you get hungry, you waited too long.
Really?
You're now working against yourself. So you have to develop, and it's not so much late at night, but you have to kind of look at your life and work your own timetable around, okay, this is what time I ate, this is what time I can eat again. The biggest thing is portion control. Most people eat way too much at a sitting, and they eat way too fast, so there's not enough time between your mouth and your brain to develop a signal that says, okay, I'm full, because you just piling the food in so quick that there's not enough time for the relay to happen. So I mean, there is no real answer to that question. The answer is it depends on who you are, A, and then B, you can't. It's too much shock on the body a lot of times to go from 0 to 100 like that. Like, okay, I eat 5,000 calories a day. Excuse me. And then all of a sudden I'm gonna go from my 5,000 calories to 500 calories. It's too great a shock on your body. So the thing is, you actually want to eat with a greater frequency, but smaller portions.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
The thing that I try to encourage people as a first baby step is, if you can go, most people, if you can go even just 2 weeks, you see what you're doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
If you can make water your only beverage, do everything else just exactly how you've been doing it as far as eating, and drink nothing but water for 2 weeks, you'd be amazed at the results. And then, from there, every week you add on something new. Everybody's looking for, we live in a microwave society, and everybody wants everything that happens so quick.
Yeah, we want it right now.
Yeah, but when it happens that quick, it also reverses that quick too.
Oh man, see that's
So
that's a whole nother issue.
Yeah, so and you got to be willing to make it a lifestyle, willing to make it a way of life, a way of living yourself. There for everything that you crave, for every type of food you like, for every beverage, there's a way to get that same satisfaction by just manipulating the foods. There's so many products out there now that you can substitute for different foods. It's really easy.
But people need to find out how to do it, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a matter of a little bit of basic research. And the challenge is that there's no one answer. There's no wholesale answer that's going to work for everybody. Like, what works for me might work for you.
Like I'm not gonna lie, I be wanting it right now. Like I want it right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand when people be like, yo, man, I don't got 8 months. I want it right. This is why it's $1 billion industry, because people buy into that. Yo, I'm gonna take these pills and in 3 days, I'm gonna lose 6 pounds. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get this membership and I'm gonna lose this weight. I'm gonna lose 12 pounds in a week. This trainer right here is gonna get me where I need to be.
Well, I mean, if I put a cucumber in my drawers, it would appear that I have a larger penis, but it's only fix. You know what I mean? So yeah, there are things you can do that will satisfy in the temporary. But if you want the long run, if you want the long-term results, there are certain things you're gonna have to do. But there's definitely a way to go about it. Now, the fortunate thing about it is something is always better than nothing.
Okay.
You get a lot of people who get discouraged because they didn't get the results they wanted fast enough, and who'll just give up altogether. But if you should slip and overeat, then don't say, oh, you know what, I'm not gonna go to the gym either now because I already overate. Or don't go to the gym and nullify the entire workout by going home and having 2 gallons of Ben and Jerry's or Haagen-Dazs. It's like certain things don't go together. Like if you're trying to figure out who has the best chocolate ice cream, right, and what's the best way to be in top shape, it's gonna be hard to happen. It's gonna be a real challenge. It's called a conflict of interest. It's just too great to have those two.
What I ask people all the time is, if you bought a Mercedes Benz, if you bought a Bentley, if you bought a Maserati, would you put water in the gas tank? And they look at me and they go, hell no, to mess the car up. And I go, it's the same thing with your body, right? What the doctors don't tell you is it's an addiction. The same part of your brain that get the euphoria from alcohol, coke, crack, or whatever it is, that's your thing, is the same part of your brain that get the euphoria from the sugar, from the starch. They say comfort food.
Yeah.
Yo, who the fuck is getting? So you get comfort from poison?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But at the same time, it's like you talk about doctors. The doctor profits from you being sick. So they may not always give you the advice you want. They'll give you the advice that's most beneficial to their pocket.
Yes. Oh, okay. So there's a brother that's driving a taxi out here, right? So he would come in and he see me eating my salads with the dry tuna, oil and vinegar, right? Sea salt. So he would ask me, how to do it. And I said, listen, you need to get your body in an alkaline state. Your body ideally in an alkaline state will start burning without you actually having to get out there and do that physical work at first. Because his brother's like 400, he was about 500 pounds, right? So he goes to the doctor, he changes his eating habits, and he's eating the salads, and he's drinking the water, and he goes to the doctor, and he's down 15 pounds, right? So he heard family members of mine call me Bobby, So when the doctor asked him, what are you doing? And he's like, well, Bobby told me, and Bobby's helping me. So the next time he goes, he's down another 15. So the doctor says to him, well, Bobby's telling you wrong. You're losing the weight too fast, right? He said, yo, he was in a supermarket the other day, and a lady asked him why he was crying, and he said, yo, I'm just filled with joy because I haven't been able to move around and walk around for years. And this was just a small change in his consumption of, nutrients. Because he was sitting, he drives a taxi, so he's not going nowhere. He's sitting there, and he's consuming, when I tell you everything. And I'm just like, yo, all you got to do is change the fundamentals, and everything else is going to slowly but surely get you where you need to be. Then you're able to walk. And the doctor tells this brother, now mind you, simultaneously, he's telling him, I'm telling him wrong, and then he needs to go get the lap band. I said, yo, man, it's $1 billion industry. It's $1 billion industry.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think, you got people end up with backwards priorities. A big part of it is societal, and the proof is in the pudding, because why is America the fattest society there is? It's more to it than just, oh, Americans are fat because they can afford to eat. It's that people are forced to work so much.
That's right.
That they don't have time to take care of themselves. So essentially, they have us sacrificing our health and our health and essentially our wealth for $1. I mean, you got people who got to work 2 or 3 jobs just to survive. Like, you work 2 or 3 jobs. When you're supposed to work out, they keep you exhausted and
that's right.
Deficit for the sake of $1.
That's right.
And then you spend your whole life working.
Right.
And die. I mean, I know a guy right now, a year younger than me. So he's 42. He never drank. He never smoked. He just ate poorly, and he suffered 2 strokes in the course of a year.
Yes.
43 years old.
That's right.
All he ever did was work hard.
So the thing is, that's successful for the system. That's the system working successfully.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, still, you can only be as great as the excuses you accept. And what I mean by that is, it's true that it's more expensive to eat healthy.
It is.
Right? But if you, just like with anything else, if you plan the right way, you can do it. Like, I've had times where I didn't have enough money to get all the healthy food I wanted. You know what I did? I went to the Dollar Tree, right? And those cup of noodles, the ones with all those tons of salt in them.
Yeah.
If you don't use the flavor pack, there's no salt in it.
Bingo.
Right. So you take that, toss off the flavor pack, get yourself a can of tuna fish, warm the tuna fish up or grill it or saute it, and put it in there for $2. $2, you got a healthy meal.
See?
But they want to tell you, oh, you got to eat organic. Oh, you got to go to this store, that store. You got to go to Trader Joe's, or you got to go to Whole Foods, this, that, and the third, and then spend all this ridiculous amounts of money.
You know why I don't? Because the great thing about that is, see, wealthy people is always going to conform. You're never going to get one up on a wealthy person because they're always going to conform. They know what the difference is.
Yeah. I mean, you know what though? The key as far as eating goes, like I said, change it in your mind first. But the physical thing is be a day ahead of it. Be a day or two ahead of it. If you sit down and you take the time out to plan a whole day's meals, that effort that you put in the night before will force you to eat right the next day. Because you've put that effort into it, you've given it that time, so you're more likely to stick to it if you actually take that time to plan.
Right.
It's when you run in the streets all day, you stop and you think, oh, what the hell? All right, I'm gonna have a bottle of Snapple for breakfast. Now you think that's not so bad, a bottle of Snapple. Then you look and the bottle says 34 grams of sugar, right? That's
Right.
well, no, let's say it says 17 grams of sugar. You think 17 grams of sugar, that's bad, but it's not that bad. If I walk from here to Broadway, if I walk down Broadway for an hour, maybe I can burn that. But what you didn't look at was the serving size.
Ooh, that's a whole nother thing.
Which means now you got 34 grams of sugar. You got double the sugar and double the calories you really thought you were taking in, and you think it's just a harmless bottle of Snapple.
Yes.
You know, yeah.
But you know what? They're not. When you have conversations with people like that, because you're 100% right. I was doing it. I was like, oh man, this is all in calories. It is. Oh, I'm gonna have 3 or 4 of these. And then somebody pulled my coat and was like, whoa. That's supposed to serve 4 people. And then you look at it and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Got me. Right? So now you times that 300 calories by 4.
Yeah.
Right? And your consumption is so real that those sugary drinks don't quench your thirst. So when you're actually worked up, it's probably going to make you even more thirsty. So you're knocking down 2 or 3 of those. Oh, this is nothing.
That's the whole point, because I can sell you more. If it makes you thirsty, I can sell you more. It's just like, that's why they have peanuts at the bar, because you're gonna buy more drinks because it's salty. The salt makes you want more. Same thing with the sugar.
Big business.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I got a few different people I've been working with, and I'm looking to probably start a Facebook group, maybe in the next couple of days. So I mean, look for that. I'll definitely put some information up on that.
Yeah, I as soon as you get to me, like where would people be able to see you now? Like where would people be able to reach you right now if they wanted to reach you right now?
Right now, okay, my phone number, like I don't have a problem with people texting or calling either. So my phone number is 404-552-3933. On Facebook, I'm Sypate, SYPATE, and then my email is SAEEDPATE@gmail.com. So SaeedPate@gmail.com. So with those 2 things, I'm also, in the future, maybe looking to develop an app, or at least, with the technology now, you can train people without being in their physical presence.
That's right.
The huge wave going forward, like in the future. So those are the kind of going with,
Well, that's right now. That's right now, because I tell people all the time, you have to counter the brainwashing and the propaganda that's being spewed to you.
Yeah.
Like it's really hard. Like that's why I reached out to you to even build on a platform like this and chop it up and put it out in a proper form, because it's really hard to actually have conversation with people that don't, they're learning from the doctor. The doctor's telling them, yo, you should be drinking milk, right? The doctor's telling them, yo, you should be consuming dairy. The doctor's telling them this. So when I have a conversation with somebody and I go, yo, as Black people, we're lactose intolerant. Not just the person that's insanely lactose intolerant, right? All of us are. The way that they administer things to us, right? They're talking to us like we're Caucasian. The whole system. Like this is an outpost of Rome. So when they're having conversations with you and they go, well, how tall are you? 5'9", 5'8"? Well, you should be 149 pounds, right? Yeah. They're not talking to you. They're talking to your Caucasian counterpart, because there's very few doctors, like rest in peace, Dr. Sebi, there's very few of them that dealt with our genotype.
Right.
There's almost no doctors that deal with our genotype.
And that brings us back to the wholesale health again. They look to say that what works for one person is going to work for everybody, and there's there's some level of universality to fitness, like certain things are common sense, but to say that everybody that's say 5'9" should be 140 to 150 pounds without not taking into consideration their muscle mass or their familial history or how often they worked out or what their training regimens may have been in the past is a huge mistake. And I think that's where a lot of, because you can have somebody who appears thin, who still has high blood pressure, who still has diabetes, who's a prime candidate for a stroke, and they look otherwise healthy, and they weigh otherwise healthy. And then by that same token, you have a guy who will be 300 pounds, but his blood pressure is not high. He doesn't eat that poorly. He just carries the weight that way, and some people are that way, you know. But yeah, that's a big.
I appreciate this. I want to do this with you at least once, twice a week, and so we can narrow down the topics, so we can pick your brain, and and get your movement out there, because there's very few people. I watched you. I got the before and after pictures. I say no disrespect, but I mean all the disrespect in the world to those trainers that are not living what they're shoveling. Don't tell me you could get me right and you 400 pounds. I'm not buying that shit. If you ain't using what you selling, keep it moving. That's why I like this platform right here. I need you on this platform. I need to pick your brain at least twice a week for this right here.
Yeah, so, I mean, it helps me too, because definitely I'm trying to just get my name out there, and that's a big part of it too. It's very easy to talk it, but it's not so easy to walk it. You know what I mean? Like,
there you go.
But the challenge for me has always been, okay, I'm working and I'm making money, but my health is suffering. I'm working, making money, but my health is suffering. What good is that money to you if you can't breathe? You could have $1 million in your pocket, stuffed in every pocket you got. If you can't get no air in because you want to eat chicken nuggets and French fries and the milkshake, and then turn around and drink and smoke cigarettes, and you can't even go up a flight of stairs, what good is all that money?
Yo, Pusha T said, ask Steve Jobs, health don't buy wealth. Wealth don't buy health. That's the realest shit in the world. He had $1 billion. He had $1 billion and he's gone. He had $1 billion and he's gone.
Well, the real value in health ultimately is that it buys you time.
Right.
Time is more than money. You ever joke around with your friends about if you won a lottery or if you had all the money in the world, what you would do with it. My thing was always, don't give me all the money in the world, give me all the time in the world. Control time, you got to pay me, which is why most of these employers will pay you by the hour. And that's just to prove it. The fact that they pay you by the hour shows that time is worth more than money, because they design those companies and corporations to be profitable. The only way they can be profitable is by paying you for your time. So it's kind of the same thing. So if you develop your health on the right level, you can live long enough, which is essentially time,
right,
to be able to earn that money. But everybody, again, goes back to everybody wants everything right now. How can I get it now? How can I get it now? But there's no magic bullet. That is, and a lot of people are becoming aware of that too. Like, that is the fountain of youth. That is how to sustain a longer life.
Well, the group I'm gonna post this in, and I hashtag health is wealth, because this money, finances mean nothing. I mean, my finances mean less than nothing, because when you transcend this, right, and you leave, because you're gonna leave that somewhere. That's gonna go somewhere. I got a friend of mine right now that tell me this, a guy that he deals with, a cool guy. He's 98, right? He has over $300,000 in the bank, right? Now the bank, because he has no family members, the bank will only allow him to take out $300 increments at a time, right? So they're getting ready to take his money. They're getting ready right now because they know he's in transition mode, right? He don't have no family to leave it to. So what happens to that? What happened to those finances? Right.
To go to the state, the city, whatever. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So health ultimately is the thing. But we're fighting against crack. Hold on, I'm gonna show you what crack is. Yo, do you know that if you took, so what they did was they did a test and they had got some rats addicted to coke, some cocaine, right? They put them in this thing and they put a pile of cocaine here and they put a pile of sugar here. And they went to the cocaine. They went to the sugar as opposed to the cocaine. And they were addicted to the cocaine already. So what is the sugar doing to your system?
Yeah. Well, you know, Dick Gregory said the process for getting off of sugar is the same process for getting off of heroin.
Wow.
It's that deep. It's that involved. And, you know, there are things that the average person doesn't know to look for in these ingredients. In the way you read these labels, they sneak sugar. They'll sneak sugar into everything. And essentially, a lot of times sodium is sugar. When it starts to break down, it turns into sugar. So a lot of people don't understand, you know, what they're looking at, what they're reading. Carbohydrates, certain types of carbohydrates become sugar. And people think, you know, they walk around talking, oh, no carbs, no carbs, no carbs. But it's the sugar that the carb breaks down to that's dangerous, not the carb itself, because there are certain carbs you must have, particularly if you're telling yourself you're only taking a certain amount of calories a day. You need that fuel to burn. You can't put a little bit of gas in the car and expect the car to go far. It can only go as far as you've allowed it to go based on how much gas and energy you've put into it. Without that.
So there's ideal times that we should listen. Look, we definitely have to do this again because we could do this on into wherever. Reiterate your social media for them again.
Okay, so on Facebook, I'm Sypate, SYPATE. My email is saeedpate@gmail.com. That's SAEEDPATE@gmail.com. And then my phone number, I have no problem with people calling me or texting me. It's 404-552-3933. But just really quick, just to give people a helpful hint, two superfoods that you can eat, you can start eating right now that will turn everything around. Yams. Yams have a natural steroid in them. It's a natural occurring steroid inside the yams that helps muscle development. If you eat a half a yam, if you take a whole yam and split it in half, eat half in the morning, half at night, you probably will not be hungry all day and be chock full of energy.
Wow.
Tomatoes have a nutrient called lycopene. Between the tomatoes and the yams, you can sustain yourself all day on just those two nutrients. The other thing is real powerful. Got to get green vegetables. They have what are known as phytonutrients. To substantiate the power of phytonutrients or essentially greens, look how big and strong and how long a tree lives. The same process that enables a tree to be that strong and survive that long is the reaction of the chemicals inside the tree. It causes a reaction to the sun that doubles their strength and doubles their ability to grow. The same thing will happen inside of your body if you have those phytonutrients inside of you. So just to recap, get some yams, get some greens, whether it's spinach, collard greens, broccoli, whatever, some green leafy vegetables, and some tomatoes. Start with that and drink nothing but water.
And
the average, you eat nothing but that for 2 days, you won't believe how much weight you drop.
Okay.
And that's facts.
Yo, Sa, we're gonna be right back in a couple of days. Because we're gonna do this. They need to know this.
All right, yeah. In the meantime, I'll put together some more info too.
All right, peace.
All right, peace.